Hey guys, it's Graham. What's cracking? Been a few days, huh? I've actually got audio recorded for a couple of videos. I just haven't sat down to turn them into videos and post them and schedule them and all that. I haven't felt the pull for a couple of days. I've been occupied with other things. And while I haven't forgotten you fine folks who listen to this channel and watch my videos, which there's not much to watch, I don't really want to feel like I've got to say something even if I have nothing to say. Oh, you got to keep it going. If you slow down, then the algorithm disfavors you. It's like I'm not overly concerned about that. I make like 20 cents a video around here unless I get one of those random ones that takes off. I like sharing with you here, but I don't want it to be the end goal. Like the point is not to make videos. The point is to read. And when I read something, then make a video. And so every once in a while, I don't want to like flog the reading out of myself just so that I can make a video. I read for enjoyment. This is a hobby. The video is so that I can tell you guys about books that I like, and then you can go read them. The subject du jour, though, is about AI voices, AI narration, virtual voice, that sort of thing. I've been chasing this tech down for the last 2.5 years or so, starting with my subscription to Speechify in early 2023. I've talked about that a little bit before. There are a couple of reasons why I like supporting Speechify. One, it's opening up a new conduit for audiobook distributors so that they aren't beholden exclusively to Audible. Anytime you've got a monopoly somewhere, you're closing off market accessibility and you're giving one group too much power. There is an argument to be made for quality control and for gatekeeping in certain ways, but if distributors and if producers have more points of access to get their product in front of listeners, then that's better. And Audible casts a big shadow, and as such, they're able to kind of wield the bully club and dictate contract terms that maybe aren't always favorable to the up-and-comers or to the masses. And so competition will make that market a little bit more robust and hopefully make some progress in terms of like bringing Audible to heel. So Speechify is good for that reason. The other reason is that I acquire a lot of ebooks through various means, and I don't really have time with my life right now as it is to sit down and physically read books with everything else that I've got going on. I've got a family, I've got a job, I've got my own projects that I'm working on. As much as I love reading, I will get to things faster if I can do them through audio. And Speechify allows me to turn ebooks into audiobooks if audiobooks are not available for them. But Speechify is a form of using an AI voice. You've got to have a subscription, you got to have a data plan, and boy does it eat your battery. One of my more successful videos is after the first few months that I had Speechify. A lot of the complaints that I had about it back then, some of them have improved, others have kind of stayed the same. It's just that sometimes you get bad signal, and so you get bad playback, and you're not going to be able to listen to your book that day. But that's not so much to do with the AI voice part of it. That's more to do with whatever your signal strength is and the tech itself. But now that Audible is probably let's say a couple of years into its virtual voice experiment, I think it's time to revisit this question. So what are my thoughts on AI voices, digital voices? Are they going to replace traditional narrators, actual people? I think it's like any other somewhat emergent technology. There's going to be a factor of disruption. It's going to change the way that certain consumers interact with certain products. It's going to make a lot of channels and venues more widely open to creators. And it's just going to have to be up to the end user to decide whether they want to use the product. I understand the concern amongst voice artists who don't want to be replaced by a machine. I'm a truck driver. I don't want to be replaced by an automated truck. I'm in kind of a niche specialty side of the trucking market where they would have to replace me with two robots because I do a versatile job and I do it very well. And at least for now, that's not cost effective, so let's hope it stays that way. We'll see what happens. But I don't want my voice actor friends to be put out of work. I think the way to look at it, though, is the indie writers like myself who are in a position to put a book up on Audible through virtual voice, they're already too broke to hire a voice artist for what they are worth. And this allows them to put a book out there and get it in front of listeners and elevate that author if the quality of their work is up to snuff. When the Kindle first came out in 2008, and then Kindle Direct Publishing became a thing, and it became easier for people to just self-publish and throw a whole bunch of stuff out there, there was a huge glut of free and inexpensive ebooks onto the market. Hey, guilty of this myself, that it just flooded people with options. With the whole AI thing, that's just going to be the next iteration, the next derivation of that effect. You're going to see a lot more content automatically generated, and hopefully there's a way to accurately identify what is AI and what is not. I think it's going to be more important for creators to have kind of a personal relation to some degree, like an actual human connection with their readers and their viewers, so that they know, hey, I'm a real person, I make real stuff. I think making those connections at conferences and at signings and what have you will be more important, just so that people can be more invested in the work of a creator whose work they value. Instead of just saying I'm looking for a book of a certain genre, give me genre fluff, I don't care about the quality, I just want to feel like I'm hanging out in that genre. It's like, you can't force a reader to care about the human caliber of your work if they're just looking for fast food. Okay. All of this is to say that much like when self-publication really took off and there were a couple of, we'll say, gold rush style authors who really excelled over others and rose to the top through word of mouth, I think the same thing is going to happen in the age of AI. And for the ones that are doing it super part-time or on a very strict budget, but they're able to find a good virtual voice narrator, a good AI narrator, that book will then be able to reach more listeners, and the really good stuff is going to rise to the top. The stuff that is universally good and just being produced by somebody with limited resources. From there, let's say that they're big enough, then they could go on to hire, whether it's a full cast or a recognizable narrator that they can bring to the table to do their work. Let's say that the effect snowballs, that they get rich, they get successful, and they can make more human-produced stuff. I don't mind AI narrators. I'm not completely sold on AI narrators. Oh man, I've got to get to this next AI book. When an AI narrator is reading a book, you can tell there are little things in the performance that maybe another generation of the technology will change that. But I'm more interested in art as a human endeavor, and a vocal performance by an actual human being is always going to be more meaningful and more valuable than a machine's simulacrum thereof. No machine is ever going to really replace Bronson Pinchot or Tim Gerard Reynolds or R.C. Bray or any of the other narrators who I've really come to enjoy over the years. The best stuff will rise to the top. These tools, and as much as I'm not philosophically a fan of democracy in all things, but these tools are a bit of a democratizer, we'll say. They make it easier for the masses to access the market. maybe not necessarily to create. If you're just sitting there pushing an AI button and spamming something out, then you're not a creator. You're a monkey pushing lit up buttons on a screen. These other tools make it so that it's easier for actual creatives to access a marketplace of readers and consumers. I will never use them to replace actual artists. I think these are just ways for me to find other works that I would otherwise greatly appreciate and value. There are a couple of books that I've listened to on Speechify that have been just fantastic, tremendous. I love it. I've got like 2 or 3 rotating narrators that I prefer and that I listen to, and on the AI side, that can be a bad thing. Sometimes it's like I'm always having the same person read something to me in the same monotone. Okay, it is what it is. But again, it's just a means to an end to give me access to books of the high quality that I personally would want to read, and I just don't have the time. Me as a reader, I don't have that time. And somebody else as a writer, maybe they don't have the budget to hire an actual talented vocal artist, a narrator, at the price that they are worth. So in the end, I don't view these tools as means of replacing the actual talented creatives out there. They are tools of distribution and of amplification, and they can fulfill that role. Will that be the only role they fill? No. I mean, I'm not an oracle. I can't see exactly how people are going to use them and what the net result is going to be. That's just my perspective on it. So I'm not worried about virtual voice or Speechify or AI narrators or whatever. The best stuff, I think, is going to continue to rise to the top. That's going to be a matter of individual taste. People can tell what they like, and hey, that's why I do what I do here. Like I said, I want to share things. I want to find things that I love and then boost them from there. You're not going to go replacing the real thing with knockoffs. And I'll close by saying that even the Titan Audible knows that. They're releasing next month a new full cast narration of Pride and Prejudice with recognizable cast members. Jane Bennett is going to be played by, I say recognizable, and I've already forgotten the actress's name, but she's going to be in the new Highlander movie with Cavill. And there are a couple of other names. Glenn Close is going to be in it as Catherine de Bourgh, and now I'm kicking myself for forgetting the other narrators. But you'd look at it, you'd be like, okay, I know who these actors are. They wouldn't be investing the money in that if the value wasn't there. They have their Audible Plus catalog or whatever of recognizable classics. Rachel McAdams did a narration of Anne of Green Gables. That was a brilliant choice because Rachel McAdams is a recognizable talent, and she does a great job of narrating that book. She's also Canadian, and Anne of Green Gables is one of the quintessential pieces of Canadian youth literature. It's a very enjoyable read, and she really brought it to life with her performance. That book is also fantastic because it proves the adage that girls like it when you're mean to them. Gilbert Blythe did nothing wrong. But anyway, in the end, that's my summary of it. I don't have a problem with it. I don't think it's going to replace actual talented artists. It's just going to help more people find great human artists. Let me know what you guys think. Drive safe. See you out there.